the early 2000s, you couldn't go on Facebook and critic the media because they weren't really there. So what I would do is usually read articles or hear about articles and then go on the websites of the media reporting sites like the Huffington Post. The Huffington Post seemed to lie all the time, or put their propaganda spin into all their articles. And so what I would do is go on them and tear them apart, state how they were manipulating their viewers or readers. And also I was one of the first people to start promoting the new Tea Party. Every time I'd go on their sites, I would say it's time for a new Tea Party, a new Boston Tea Party. This time we'll drink tea, throw the politicians in the harbor. And I always used to find it funny, like after the first reporter came out at the stock exchange and said something about a Tea Party, and I think it was even before that Ron Paul came to Boston and had a little Boston Tea Party. But before those two things even happened, all my comments used to get scrubbed off the internet. I'd go back looking for them, and it was always funny that not only would they lie to their viewers, but then they would censor their readers from looking at any comments that contradicted their lies. And I was still naive about things at that time, always thinking that the media channels like CNN or Fox News had some obligation to tell the truth. They don't have any obligation to tell the truth, and they don't tell the truth. They tell their version or their perspective of the truth, and that's what's wrong with this country, is we have media organizations that are paid corporatists by the corporate government to give their spin. And that's how we ended up in the Iraq War back with George Bush. They completely acted a certain way even though they knew the truth, and maybe some of the individual people didn't, but enough people in the organization knew the truth that we should have never gone to war with Iraq. We know it was Saudi Arabia that financed 9/11, and it's just a disgrace. And now we have organizations like the NSA who operate under the Patriot Act, and what they're doing is basically just causing more damage to this country, and they're causing the people of this country to be less safe. And we have things like the IRS that tax us, and according to a whistleblower named Karen Hoods, who was an IMF lawyer, she states that the IRS actually sends our tax revenue, our tax payments to Great Britain and the Vatican. So our taxes are not even going to finance the debt that the Federal Reserve is creating. It's actually being shipped offshore. So our monetary system is truly not ever going to be paid back. We're in 14 trillion, depending on how you look at it, 100 quadrillion, whoever you believe. But however, the debt of this country by private bankers, it's not even my debt, it's not your debt. This is a private company who's basically bankrupting itself, and it should be bankrupt. And the full faith and credit of the United States of America has no obligation to pay that debt back. It's all fraudulent. They had no obligation to print the money. They printed it based on free will, nothing else, and they